Hello and welcome to Strange Antiquities. This is kind of like a sequel, I guess, to Strange Horticulture, made by the same studio. Looks very similar, but it's their new game, and I'm super excited to try it. If you're excited as well, let me know in the comments. As a thaumaturge's apprentice, there's a lot to learn. Every object must be treated with care, and it's important to identify the harmful from the harmless, the potent from the mild. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement when Eli left the shop, Strange Antiquities in my hands. None of us knew that by then, the pendulum was already swinging with a terrible certainty that could not be stopped. The ravens were an omen, a circling unkindness of black wings and cheerless cries that seemed even then to signal the start of a rising dread. Man, I'm stoked for this. I loved Strange Horticulture so much. I think I've 100%ed that game. If not, I need to go back and do that. It is a fun one. And of course, the kitty. Oh, there's two different colored eyes. What a cutie. Alright. If this is anything like Strange Horticulture, we are kind of timed, if I remember correctly. Oh, okay, that did a thing. We can take off, it looks like things, talismans, objects, move them around. We have even more. Some locked up. Okay. You know, the cat's eyes, I was gonna say, its eyes kind of match those colors. And then we have a little... Oh, can we put anything? Do we have any object to put in there? So these games are kind of like puzzle games, but with a pretty thorough story. And there tends to be usually a lot of things that you have access to, but don't know what to do with. So... You know, I'm clicking around. Maybe we should just follow what the game wants us to do. Oh, I spooked the kitty. Eli White. I've been called away to assist in an urgent matter in Ravenglass. I must leave at once. I'm leaving the shop in your care. With some reluctance, I might add. Make use of my reference materials. Here, take this. There's an index in the back that may be useful for you. Okay, cool. If in doubt, study it carefully, and remember that there are some powerful artifacts here. Under no circumstances should you seek entry to any locked drawers, or doors, drawers, or cupboards. Alright. In fact, safest not to touch anything at all. I should be back in a few days. Use the arrow keys or WCD to navigate your shop. Okay, I was going to use my mouse a little bit there. So I have the book. Oh, and then I can open it? Open it? There we go. Gotta inspect it first. Strange Artifacts, A Guide to the Occult Objects by T.S. Gill. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff here. I'm not gonna read through all of this, but yeah, so you see how like some words are highlighted. It's like, okay, there are puzzles to solve with these. But we will keep that right there. So we have a scale. That's good to know. We have a very bloody object. Okay. We have an eye that follows us. And it looks like on any of these we can inspect. Okay. So composition of iron and a green marble. Color and composition. Sense of touch. Cool and smooth. With some intricate detailing. Nothing, no sound it makes, has no smell, and there's no kind of inner perception. But I guess once we're able to identify what this object is, we can tag it, and then we'll know for the future. In Strange Horticulture, people would come up and say, I need this plant. You had no idea what plants you had, so you had to figure out through a bit of puzzling what plants you had and which ones you didn't and which ones to give people. So I wonder. Okay. Thomas Pope. Congratulations. Today is the day you meet the great Thomas Pope. Alright, I know everything about this guy that I need to. That's me. I'm a man of two loves. Fresh mountain air and a little white dog called Hamish. I think himself. I'm gonna guess that he himself is a third love. But I reserve some room for laughter amongst friends and shops with cats in them. Perfect. If you'd be so kind, I'm looking for a replacement for my hunter's boon. Perfect. Okay. So now we have to figure out what a hunter's boon is and if we have one. I'm gonna guess this up here because it's a stag, but that's what we gotta figure out. Okay. So let's look here. We're gonna go back to, there's the index. If we go to table of contents, hunter's boon. Here we go. A hunter's boon is a primitive item. They grant the power of the predator. Enhancing perception and agility. They're made from trophies taken from slain beasts, with those from the deadliest predators being the most prized. They're simple items without embellishment. Okay, trophy from slain beasts. Super simple design. In that case, I might say this. Looks like bones. Yep. Yep. Something like a serpent's whisper that emanates from within. It has some evil quality to it. Okay. So it might not be that one. But it could also be. This one has a horn on it. Let's see. Color and composition. Yeah, it's another bone. But there's nothing for inner perception. And that looks too complex. Because, like, if we look at this and do color and composition, I mean, it says it's a cheap metal of some kind, but this still seems too complex. This, however, just looks like a fang with a hole drilled through it. No scent or sound. It gives me a sensation of power. Okay, I'm gonna say that this is... Oh man, you could do icons and everything. Man, you can do a lot more with this now. We'll just keep it this. And this is the, what is it, Hunter's Boon? Yes. Okay, and I think this is what you'd like. And that's correct. Cool. This is a tiger's tooth, a trophy from a predator. On closer inspection, it gives a sensation of power. So, yeah, then you get to see what clues led to the deduction of that. And we always keep one in stock, I'm pretty sure, of what we have. We don't permanently give it away. It's kind of like we're just giving away a duplicate. But that's kind of a process, is use hints to figure out what objects we even have. And in return, we get things like this, more information. Select totem. Carved totems are more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with the sentiment of feeling, or sentiment or feeling, such as love or joy, then held tightly to recall the same feeling. They sometimes feature crescent shapes. The form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. Cool. And we got an achievement. Handle your first customer. You can add labels to items while inspecting them. Yep. Alright. Jack Hungerford. The nights are drawing... Oh. I'd like to be able to read that. The nights are drawing in again. Dark shadows hide dark deeds, or so my father always used to say. Seems like the shadows have grown darker since he passed 2 winters gone. Creeping dark has set up in my house. I'm told the shadow hold will draw it out. Okay, we gotta get a shadow hold. Alright, so now we look at the book, or actually see the people that we've met, and a short description of them. Of course, our little kitty, named Jupiter. Aw. His business of his own. Adorable. Alright, so let's see. Shadow hold. So, table of contents, and shadow hold. Or an Oshadic vessel is a container of some kind, sometimes a jar or a bottle or some sort of box. It can be used to create or to contain an Oshadic spirit. The manifestation known as creeping dark, pulling from it the shadows like poison from a wound. They're decorated with an elaborate design called a shadow catcher. Okay, so it's going to be this kind of design. Loops in the corners with what look like dog ears. Okay. That looks like this. That's the right design. But is this a vessel of some kind? My heart feels lighter. Interesting. Raised detailing. Made completely of bronze. I mean, that is the right design. But I don't see... There's no container there. Unless it's this. Ah, that looks more like it. Made of clay and cork. Carvings have been carved in. Quite pungent. And no feeling to it. Alright, I think this. Perfect. Item is a container, and the design on the bottle is the same as the sketch. Perfect. And let's go ahead and mark this. This is... Oh, there's an auto-labeling option in the settings if adding labels by hand isn't your thing. You know what? Actually, I think I... Do I want that? That's a great question. I think I'm okay doing it by hand. Shadow Hold. Just had to remind myself what its name was. So, Shadow Hold. Perfect. And the nice thing is that then you hover over it and it shows you what it is. Real quick. Oh, I'm sorry, kitty. What's with all these ravens flying about Undermere today? David Schaefer. I can't remember ever seeing anything like it. Not a good day to be the sort who believes in dark omens. A letter for you. Sure. What do we got? We discovered some papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boatyard last night. Mr. Jones almost threw them in the fire pit, but I asked to take a look at them first. That man does like to burn things. They look old. Maybe there's nothing much use here, but I thought of you when I came across an entry on the Shin. Charlie Weathers. Interesting. Alright. Is there a place I can put this? I guess here. We also have a few things, like, things here. Reminder, I've stored a couple of items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. Good to know. Anthomic fields. All thaumic objects produce a field of some sort. Although invisible to the naked eye, they can be observed by placing an object over a thaumic lens. Also, it looks like these tiles need to go in certain places. And it looks like, yeah, it always follows the same pattern. So I'm pretty sure that's the right location for that one. And we have a couple things here. Interesting. And then a map of the area. Where are we at? Number 2, strange horticulture. We're right there, out on the edge of town. All right. Let's go ahead and pack all this up and go back up. Oh, I'm sorry, little kitty. I want an Ossic ring. Ossic. That's a pleasing word to hold on the tongue. Stanley Hume. This guy might be a snake. Let's see. These somewhat macabre objects were originally made as offerings to the goddess Kurchin, but the practice fell out of favor as belief waned. They're hard to come across now, but they're occasionally sought after for their ability to keep vermin at bay. Some say that they can hear Kurchin's unearthly hiss when they hold an Ossic ring up to their ear. Yeah, serpent goddess, yeah. Okay, so I should be able to hear a hissing then, when held up to the ear. Was it this one? Wasn't there something? No, I guess not that one. I feel like there was an object that we had that I could hear hissing from. Let's see. Nope, nothing there. Anything there? Nope, that's a real special one. Nope, nothing there. I'm just gonna have to go through, I already checked this one. I'm just gonna have to go through all of our objects real quick. See if we hear hissing. Nope. I know this one. Ah, here we go. Soft sound like a serpent's whisper. Alright. So This is Osik ring. And there you go, sir. Have fun with that. Don't use it all in one place. You know, I didn't think about the macabre description, but yeah, that makes sense. And we have knowledge about another object. Cool. What is the day currently? I have a growing fear deep within me. I cannot let it take hold. That appeared when I clicked on this. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, is this like my sanity meter? That's... okay. Can't go too insane then. Edmund Bishop. The behavior of this not raisins. The behavior of these ravens is disturbing to say the least. As a rule, they only come together to feed. Ravens are omnivores, carrion eaters, mostly. But they'll take anything they can get their talons into. And they'll kill if necessary. I didn't plan on dropping in today, but there's something happening out there, and I'd like to know what. Alright. A voice of Serunos might help put me at ease, or it might do the opposite. Alright, let's see what that is. Table of contents. Voice. There you are. Wearing his torque. Interesting. The name Voice of Serunos is used to refer to any bronze torque that has a certain imbued properties. With skill, such an item can be used to read the patterns of nature that are otherwise hidden to us. Serunos is a pagan god of the forest and nature, typically depicted as a man with antlers of a stag, and often wearing, or holding, a torch? I'm not sure. Is the torque that thing at his hip? Or is it the thing around his neck? Anyway, it's gonna be bronze. So I think that might be this. Although, no, this isn't bronze. This is bone. Is it this? This is bronze. Uneven texture. Nothing to remark. Nothing to remark. Alright, let me look at the picture again. Because that, I think, might be it. It's that around the neck, right? Wearing or holding it. Yeah, I think it might be this. Perfect. Alright, so spelling this is going to be something special. C-E-R-N-U-N-N-O-S. Cernunos. Alright. Voice of Cernunos. And it is the end of the day. I want to see. I don't think we have anything to put into this. So we'll shut that. And... oh, we have some weights. Okay, so we can compare weight with certain things. This one's interesting. And then we do have the ability to explore. Usually you don't explore unless you know where you're going, because as you can see, there are a ton of different places you can go. So it's usually... yeah. So discover some papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boatyard. Okay, so... oh, that's gone. So we want to go to the boatyard. I assume... I guess we have to look over here. Number 8 is the boatyard. Right here. The yard has seen better days. A mess of broken and rotten timbers covers most of the outdoor space that isn't taken up by upturned boats, slowly being claimed by the weeds. In the middle of all this, the man looks up from repairing a small rowing boat. "You must be from strange antiquities," he says with a smile. Takes me into the dilapidated office, where 2 metal buckets collect drips of brown water, and a thin window pane rattles with every footstep. He pulls a sheaf of brown papers out of a desk drawer and places them gently in my hands. Perfect. We have more that we discovered. Apparently as an afterthought, and somewhat reluctantly, the man gives me something else as I'm leaving. "I have no use for it," he says. "Don't even know what it's for." Ah, okay. So we get a whole brand new item as well. We will put that on our shelf. Is there anywhere else that we would think to explore? Volumes in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. Can we see? So we're number 2. We're up here. But it's the boatyard. Greywick Farm. Is that a wine farm? Is that a grape farm? We have the Barrows. Stockside Rock. Old Jail. I mean, next door, I feel like, is actually next door. So maybe it's this area. I'm wasting my time here. Ooh, that hurts our sanity hard. Okay. Gonna look to see real quick. It could be this one, but there's no building there. We'll try this area. That was a mistake. Okay. Yeah, I will stop trying to go crazy, and we will end the day. The black mare thundered through the icy rain, shining wet in the silver moonlight. Her cloaked rider was exhausted, cold, and soaked to the bone. He knew he would not survive the night if he did not reach Backbarrow. Oh. Oh, I see. Some type of rune or something that we're carving here. Around there, and there we go. Oh, it's like stirrups? Or handcuffs. I guess that chain is long enough to be stirrups. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. So this is another great hint for where we want to explore. So, an escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. So we want to find the prison, which is the old jail, probably. So number 10. He ran northwest from the old jail into the first building. So this one. There we go. Solve your first clue card. The dilapidated warehouse is dark and imposing, and the struggling flame of my lantern does little to pierce its depths. I slowly search through its contents with a sense of despair, wondering if I'm even in the right place at all, when suddenly and unexpectedly, I uncover something of value. More relieved than elated, I take the trinket back to the shop for further study and a warm drink. That is a wild-looking one. Alright, you're going right there. Oh, sorry, kitty. Verona Green. Ah, well, that's just perfect. Underbeer fizzing with fear over these ravens, and the thaumaturge has left his apprentice in charge. I feel like Verona Green was in the first game as well. Sorry, my dear, that was rude. Pay no attention to me. I'm an old lady who got out on the wrong side of bed. These ravens have got under my skin, is all. Please do let Eli know that I was looking for him next time you see him, and pass on my thanks for letting me borrow his copy of Hermetic Symbology. Interesting, by Quentin Holmes. There are 3 branches of thaumaturgy. Each of these is split into 2 disciplines, represented by the following symbols. So, moon and earth, mind, body, day, night. Got it. And then there's various imbuements. These are the symbols that are around our little tablet down below, I'm pretty sure. Elements, materials. There's quite a bit to this. Alright. We'll look at that later. You know what? Actually, we can pop that down here. And where did my other book go? Oh, it's just right here. You know, actually, I will keep these both on a shelf. There we go. Tess Sherwood. We're just meeting everybody in town. I feel paralyzed. I have no job, no partner, no friends, no prospects. I heard a horn shackle might be the answer. Alright, well, first, let's figure out what that is. Horn shackle. Horn shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth over the years. They can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems of some kind. So here's an example of an elaborate one. Okay. So this one, so we're looking for horns. this one is probably this one. Color and composition. Boned, yellowed, white. Says a touch. Hard and somewhat rough. Maybe not then. Because we're looking for something that's been worn smooth over time. And so the neat thing about this is that sometimes you may not just have the item. Sometimes you need to go explore first. Maybe it is something like this. Pointy, textured. This is made of clay. And this is made of wood. Okay. This is made out of stone and a fossilized creature. And this looks metal. Yeah, made of bronze. Okay. So, I mean, my thought is this one. And maybe it just hasn't been used before. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers. They can be worn as pendants, but are commonly totems of some kind. I just feel like, I mean, that was an elaborate one, sure, but this one doesn't seem to be even in the same wheelhouse. Also, I just realized this thing is just floating. Fascinating. We also have some plants. Okay. I mean, this is probably not it. A light-colored wood. Polished. Oh. You know, we do have this. Hard and somewhat rough. Thought at first it was bone, but it's in fact clay, painted to look like bone. Interesting. If we explore, is there anything in the cellar of the wine merchant next door? Is there anything that would indicate a wine merchant? I mean, the farm? Let's see. Oh, you know what's funny? We're not number 2, but we are in the same town. Ah, Strange Horticulture is over there. We're not Strange Horticulture. We are Strange Antiquities. 29. Got it. So this is next door. That's funny. Okay, I knew I recognized some of these terms. Yeah, so we're in the same town as Strange Horticulture. The proprietor, a Mrs. Cranmore, begrudgingly grants me access to the cellar when I explain that I'm from Strange Antiquities next door. Yes, well, take the lot of them out of here, would you? I can't say no to Eli, after all. He's done for me. But I don't like the thought of those unnaturals in my cellar. Okay, got some new items. Perfect. Let's go ahead and get these on a shelf. And I want to look at you. Made of gold. It's warm. Pretty cool with engraved detailing. Anything else? In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become warm and smooth over the years. They can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems of some kind. I mean, that looks more like a totem. I mean, this also looks like a totem, but this would be more pendant-esque. I mean, I guess it doesn't say it has to be. I was kind of fixed on the fact that this is like a bull, but it doesn't have to. I could imagine it's just an animal with horns, so... No? Ooh. Oh my gosh, okay. That really, really made me insane. Let's see. I mean, so this one is pointy, made of clay. This one is wood. And this part feels smooth. It's this. Got it. We will put that back on the shelf. There we go. Alright, so that is a horned shackle. We get to know about a vesiger later. Let's go ahead and name this. Horned shackle. Perfect. Alright, I'm going to wake you up with purrs. Or with pets, rather. So that the bell doesn't shock you. David Schaefer. At least the weather's looking a little bit better out there today. Yeah, it's not raining. But, yeah, okay. Oh, just wordlessly giving me mail. Got it. Good day. You might be interested to hear that my plow overturned a strange-looking object yesterday. Come to the farm and it's yours. For the right price, of course. Kind regards, John Royston. I imagine we want to go to probably Royston Farms? Yeah. John grins as I struggle to hide my obvious interest in the item he shows me. Any hope that he might not be fully aware of its value quickly evaporates, and after a lengthy negotiation, I reluctantly hand over the amount he originally asked for. That's an interesting looking one. Probably metal, if I were to guess. Raised detailing. Tarnished silver. Wow. Yeah, that is pretty pricey then. Oh, I'm sorry, kitty. Julia Braddock. Ah, Jupiter, we meet again. Oh, our paths crossed late last night on Prince Street. We shared a moment before he slunk off into the dark. On important business, no doubt. Oh, I wonder if you can help me. I'm visiting my grandmother later, and I wanted to bring her something. She lives all alone on the edge of town, out on Clanbrook Road. I don't always manage to get out there as often as I'd like. I thought maybe a moonheart would bring her some comfort. Alright, I think I might know what that is. But let's check. There's an index in the back that may be useful to you. So this is the other side of things, where we don't actually have the page for Moonheart. So we want to go to the index. And look for a subject here. Moonheart. Selenic totem. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with a sentiment or feeling, such as love or joy, then held tightly to recall the same feeling. Sometimes feature crescent shapes associated with both the Selenic and Noctic disciplines. Okay, so akin to the moon, Selenic and Noctic. We can look in the Hermetic Symbology to look at, to go back a bit here. So Selenic is of the moon, so it's looks like that. And then Noctic is, let's see, do we see that anywhere here? So, you know, look, you know, how's moon things. Noctic is like night. I didn't see anything there. Maybe it was on the first page and I just missed it. Oh, here we go. Yep. So, Selenic and Noctic. Got it. I'm guessing it's something like this. No, I wouldn't say that's that. Something like this. It's bone. It is crescent shaped. I mean, owls are nocturnal creatures. Anything else that we might have here? Bronze. Or this? I mean, it has the moon. Let's see. Also, okay, so this page is done. So I'm actually going to just lock that away. You can see they have a check mark whenever they've been explored, which is nice. I don't think these objects are ones we can sell, I'd imagine. Okay. Moonlight has the symbols of... Let's read this again. So it's a carved totem. And they might have the same feeling of love or joy. So what about... Yeah, here we go. It's this one. So you are a Moonheart. I guess I should probably check first, but I'm quite confident. And you. Perfect. And we unlock a new thing. Alright, next person. Daisy Winters. A friend of mine, or former friend I should say, has been stealing jewelry from me. 3 necklaces have gone missing over the past few weeks, and including one that was a gift from my late grandmother. Do you have a suitable pendant that I could leave lying out for her that will teach her a lesson and make sure it never happens again? I need to make a choice here. There are no wrong answers, but my decision will no doubt affect the events in motion outside my shop. Okay, so Binding Seed, or is that Leia? So if we do Binding Seed, made of 2 distinct materials, representing Mentic and Wixic. A Binding Seed is a form of punishment that amplifies feelings of guilt and shame. Okay. Or Leia. Oh no, it's Zaya. Okay, that is a Z. These innocent looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia. They can be difficult to remove. They're made of single material except wood or clay. Typically have no symbol or other writings upon their surface. So I could either make her feel exceptionally guilty, or I can make her absolutely paranoid. I think we'll do the nice. We'll have this one be the nice run. I think we'll just do Binding Heart or Binding Seed. So represents 2 distinct materials, representing mind and body. The winding path to mind is described as a spiral. The Yew Labyrinth at Castle Morrigan, a larger-than-life Binding Seed. Okay. So 2 distinct materials, 1 material might be wrapped in the other. Let's see. Do we have something like that? Like this? I don't like how this makes me feel. I'm gonna guess that it's this. Binding Seed. Perfect. And we now know what a shield charm is. Alright, let's get a tag on this. Perfect. And next, customer. Emmett Burrows. They found a man just now in that house where all the ravens were. I'm gonna guess. I wish I hadn't seen, but I did. He was sheet white, and it was his eyes that were going to give me nightmares. All black they were. It was like he wasn't there anymore. I don't need to wait around for another sign. I'm taking my family to Sedberg, and I'll be taking the Libula to see us safely through. So I guess I can see also... okay, these are kind of the main characters, I see. And he wants a Libula. Don't mind if I do. Libula, what is that? Libulae are purported to offer reassurance in times of upheaval and change, but they are not held in high regard by most scholars of the occult. That being said, an imbuement of wisdom shows that it's not merely decorative. There is a power in symbology, as the old thaumaturges knew well. Okay, so no picture for it. An imbuement of wisdom. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I guess we can see then, what is the symbol for wisdom? Oh, it's this thing over here. You. All right. And we now know Witch's Finger. So this is a Libula. Perfect. And that is the end of the day. A deep rain radiated down the side of the rider's head, where he had sliced himself with a diverging hook, and his thoughts were scattered and torn. He could not see out of his left eye. Oh? Where are we going? What are we making this time? Some type of... Oh! What is that? A key? Or no? Yeah. That is, I'm sure, a part of town. And that's the building we have to click on. Day 3, Saturday. Alright. We're exploring. And we're looking for a part of town that looks like this. Looking. I wonder if it isn't straight up and down, though. If it's maybe rotated. I don't think it's that one. This one? No, too much space. It does have this very, like, hook in there. So that might give a clue. So over here. No, I kind of expected to find this immediately. That's like a building on it. Maybe it isn't a full section. Is this it? Oh, this is it. Okay. So this is the bottom section here. Here's the hook-in building. So it should be this section. Perfect. There's a narrow gap between the two houses, and I spy a small wooden chest wedged firmly inside. Slowly, I manage to work it loose, and when it finally comes free, it shoots out onto the hard ground and snaps open, revealing its long-hidden treasures. Ooh. Cool. More artifacts. We'll go ahead and pop those over there. This object, though, seems like it's missing some things. Could you perhaps go into this? No. Okay. Well, I'll close you back up. Ooh, okay. Francesca Robertson. Good afternoon. No, morning. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm Francesca Robertson, a doctor of sorts. I assume you've heard about Mr. Hungerford. Seems to be the talk of the town already. I'm used to dealing with maladies of an occult nature, but black eyes are certainly unusual. I've heard of something like this before, but I don't see how it could be the same thing. Either way, I'm hopeful an Evocant will have some effect. So, Hungerford. No, that's the ornithologist. Okay. Evocant. Let's see. You. These stone items weigh the same as a man's heart, according to popular myth. The truth is a little less dramatic, but the weight of these items is nevertheless important, and should not stray more than a hair from precisely 1 pound. They're placed on the chest of those in a coma to draw them out. Okay, so it's a stone item that should weigh exactly 1 pound. Well, let's pop that there. Nope, you're too heavy. This... Nope, too heavy. This is kind of stone. Nope, too heavy. Is this stone? Nope, too heavy. Could be this one. Okay, we'll put that up there. That's a potential. This is also made of stone. That is way too light. Okay. This also has some stone on it. And that's too heavy. Alright, it's this one. Evocant. And Daedalus Link. Interesting. Perfect. And we did get some sanity back, it looks like, by moving on to the next day, which is good. Temperance Parker. I had a quiet chat with Edmund Bishop and the Guilty Ram last night. He's always got an interesting story to tell, but last night he was different. I can tell he's worried, which has got me worried too. I know it's not much, but I'd like a shield charm all the same. Alright. I can do that. Shield charm. Generic terms of protection. They can have a small effect, and a Shattuck Spirit or Wandering Shroud will not abide by them. Okay. Such terms make use of the art of symbology, an ancient and some would say primitive component of thaumaturgy. They can be made from a variety of materials, though rarely precious metals. Okay. So it's going to have a symbol of something regarding shield or protection, which would be that one. Yeah. So this. Identify 10 items. Nice. All right, so this is the shield charm. Oh, let's click in there. There we go. Shield charm. And next person. Hugh Langston. There's something I wanted to show you. I didn't like the look of it, so I left it where I found it. What if it's cursed? It was hanging behind an old shed all overgrown with ivy. Let me draw a quick map for you. There. Alright. Looks like we're exploring now. So that looks like a church or graveyard of some sort. With a lake. I see a few lakes dotted around. Looks like there's also... It's close to a forest. You know what? It might be this down here. Like that could be that building. There's the church. There's the forest. So it'd be in that little building right there. The shed is actually a wooden summer house that looks out over a pond, but it's clear that it hasn't been used in some time. Lake brambles claw their way up and over one side of the structure, and ivy covers the rest in a mottled green cloak. I find what I'm looking for to the rear. Parts of the ivy have been torn away recently, revealing an amulet hanging from a rusted nail. Something else catches my eye as I reach for it, and notice that there's another pendant hanging next to it, almost completely hidden by the ivy. Okay. Are those... I guess we can put those here, but those almost look like the things that I have down here. Also, it looks like we have some storage... Oh, interesting. Also, there's a shield rune. I just realized there's a shield charm rune painted here for the shop as well. We can put things on those. Interesting. What if I can't put the plants there? I'm going to move the plants down, though. Organize it a little bit. Back to Verona Green. Eli's picked up a bad time to leave Undermere. I've come from the Hungerford house, where I've been helping Dr. Robertson and looking for any clues about what happened there. There isn't much to go on. I identified a shattered Oshadic vessel, but whatever did this was no creeping dark. Okay, that's a shadow hold. Never mind. I guess that is an Oshadic vessel, though. There was a strange black stain on the flagstone floor that I didn't like the look of. And the ravens. Very unusual, but at least they seem to have dispersed. I don't know what to make of it. I'm going to take a trip to Gleeson Castle to see if Edmund Bishop can shed any light on their behavior. But first, I would like a vestiger. Whatever this is, we don't want it spreading. Alright. Back to the table of contents. And vestiger. Vestiger can be used to prevent the spread of disease and pestilence. Among other oddities, flames burn pale blue in their presence. Ah. Oh, no. What? No. What? So I am just looking. We know that's a Libula. We're looking to see if my handles... Oh. No. Turn blue. Okay, none of those. Any of these? No. No. Is it this? Nope. You? Nope. You. No. Running out of objects. Oh, there we go. This thing. It's a wild object, too. This is a vestiger. Alright, and Moonstone Guardian. For the banishment of Hobbs' fear and Noctic sight. These tend to take the form of a comforting guardian. Oh, interesting. Alright, well, let's get this named. And that is the end of that day. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to do, so let's go ahead and end that day. 2 days earlier, the writer and his fellow adventurer were deep underground, exploring the tunnels below the Kirkhead Tower when they made a discovery. Their elation at their find would soon turn to horror. Alright, let's trace this out. This looks like a key. Perfect. After disagreement between two houses, I was buried behind lock and key. Okay. Let's go ahead and find this object real quick. Is there anything named lock and or key? Ah, Keystone Manor. And the lock house. So 7 and 13. 7. So 13 is here, 7 is here. Buried between. A large flat slab of granite marks the otherwise empty field. It bears an inscription. On the spot in the year 1813, Arthur Key did shoot and kill the beloved horse of Wellington Lock. Buried at the foot of the slab, I found an unlocked chest containing a handful of legal documents, as well as a pistol and another item that catches my attention. Oh, that's an interesting looking thing. Alright. We'll throw that up. Perfect. And get some people coming in. Well, the shop is still standing. That's something. Say what you will about Undermere, but this town is never quiet for long. I leave for a few days and suddenly everyone's talking about ravens and curses. I'm going to need to find Verona to get up to speed on what's going on. At least I didn't come away from Ravenglass empty-handed. I can always rely on Quiet Susan to unearth an interesting trinket or two. Oh, okay. It's like a jar of some sort. We'll put that right there. Edith Moore. I am not a good person. Oh, they're wearing their, This is the person who's been stealing. I'm pushing away the only people I care about. Help me do better, please. I have to change, but I don't know how. What do you have that can help me banish my inner demons and make this changes stick this time? Ah, well, as it turns out... So yeah, this is the binding seed. This is making her feel guilty instead of paranoid. Chase away demons. That's not the horned shackle. It's not the evocant. Let me think here. Chase away demons. Is that this one? You know, maybe it is actually. Oh, nope, that's the wrong button. So let's go to the index and search demon. Oh, it might be the horn shackle. Overcome personal demons. Yeah. Okay. This is what you want. Go be a better person. Perfect. Francesca again. The evocant didn't snap Mr. Hungerford out of it, unfortunately. It's strange. At times he appears almost awake, but he is deep in some kind of trance, and I can't get anything out of him. He seems to be searching for something. I'm beginning to suspect this is beyond my skill set, but I'm not willing to give up so easily. I know it's a bad idea, but I'm going to need a sleep vessel to get me through this week. I haven't figured out what that is yet. Sleep vessel. Here we go. 6 points of a sleep vessel are said to represent the 6 thaumic disciplines. Okay, so 6-pointed. They help people to stay awake beyond any natural limits by storing their fatigue. Over time and repeated use, they become more and more difficult to handle, as though the undreamed nightmares within are beginning to seep out. Got it. Okay. 6-pointed. This is 6-pointed. Nothing to remark on this. Nope. Weathered. Made of golden iron. Also, yeah, these two almost look like they go together in some way. Or maybe like these two. Anyway, 6-pointed. Let's see here. I mean, I think that's the only thing that we have that's 6-pointed, actually. Also, man, what am I doing? Gotta clean up the shop here. Keep things tidy. This is 4-pointed. This is also 4-pointed. Oh, you know what? This is 6-pointed. Sense of crackling energy. Cool and smooth. We have bronze. So that has the shield symbol. And then what is that symbol in the center? I mean, it says that this is part of all 6 disciplines. Or it's meant to represent all 6 disciplines. We'll try this one. No, okay. Oh my gosh, okay. Well, this is the only other thing that I have that's 6-pointed. Let me just double check and make sure that's the case. And I'm not missing something silly. Oh, this is also 6-pointed. It's not rust, it's blood. You know, I feel like it has an energy about it. I just don't think that that is what we're looking for. Maybe this one? Ooh. Okay, we're about to go insane. Let's see. Is there something we can explore for? Also, yeah, I noticed that button earlier and I wanted to mess around with that. Okay, so it's said to involve all of these. Or represent all of them with the 6 points. Is it this? As if it holds untold fears inside. I mean, it could be this then. It is, okay. So those objects down there can be used. Got it. Okay, in that case, this is a sleep vessel. I guess it makes sense that this would be held in a drawer for the guy. He just doesn't get any sleep. And I'm curious then what that one is. Althea O'Shea. Many years ago, I was owed a silent breath, but was already old when I inherited it, and its power died soon after. But it was already old. I was like, wow, you've aged backwards quite well. It's about time I replaced it. So, looking for a silent breath. I haven't done that yet. I actually just go back a page, I think, to find it. Oh, here we go. There are those that consider the white heart a prize to be claimed, but there's no glory to be had for killing such a noble guardian. A silent breath contains a small token taken from a living white stag. While the stag lives, the item will retain its power, allowing the bearer to sense danger before it arrives. Interesting. So it has... So this is, I mean, part of a stag. But... this is all made of clay. But apparently it has part of the stag with it. Do I have anything that would have, like, bone? There's horns. I mean, this object... like, my hands belong to someone else. Okay, probably not that one, then. Silent breath. Okay, let's see here. The white stag, guardian of the forest. A small token taken from a living white stag. Okay. Is it this? No, nothing to remark on that. I mean, this is definitely blood. It has an energy about it. Maybe this is the blood of the white stag? I feel like if I get one more wrong, though, I go insane. I don't see anything else. Oh, you know what? This might... seems to make the hair stand up on the back of my neck. I wonder if this is, like... the hair? A white hair. Okay, yeah. This must be it, then. so danger is coming. Alright, silent breath. There we go. Identified. Perfect. Next. Rufus Shelley. I've always wanted to try a Daedalus link. I have a personal interest in the Celestial branch, so I'm not completely new to such things, nor am I ignorant of the risks. And now I have good reason for it. I need to take care of some roof repairs, and this would seem the safest way to approach it. Alright, let's figure out what that is. I remember we got the page for that a bit ago. Daedalus link. Daedalus link is a powerful object capable of producing a levitation field. The field is extremely fragile, however, so it would be prudent not to take risks. These items are surprisingly light in weight. Their designs vary, but they might point to some facet of flight, a feather, or the wings of a bird or insect. Okay. Well, this has bird. But that, I mean, let's see. It's heavier than half a pound. It's heavier than a pound. I'm not going to call this light. Usually it's something, I mean, this has leaves. I mean, this is, oh. Sterling's silver that is lighter than half a pound and has a bird. Let's just double check here. I'd like to not go insane. Surprisingly light in weight, the designs vary, but they might point to some facet of flight. A feather or wings of a bird. Well, I mean, that is just a bird. And I don't think I have anything that is closer than that. Perfect. So that is a Daedalus link. Let's see if I can spell this right. Daedalus link. Perfect. Let's get the next person in. Oh, it's Bishop again. The Ravens are back, I see. Looks like it's going to be worse this time. After speaking to Verona, I've come to extend an open invitation to visit Gleeston Castle. My family has lived there for generations, and I know there are artifacts that would be of use to you, gathering dust in hidden corners. All I ask is that you stay out of the South Tower and the master bedroom, and run anything you find by me, of course. Interesting. So I'm going to get you started. Walk past the main staircase and turn left. Follow the corridor down to the end, go through the door on the left. Small plinth in the corner of the room with an item on it that you are welcome to. Never did like it anyway. And a map of the castle. Wow. Alright, well, I'll try not to get lost with this. Mars in winter, rising in summer. That direction is north. That's distances. Okay. Well, that's a lot more than I can work with here. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it there for this episode. If you liked what you saw, feel free to leave a like, comment, hit subscribe. All the different channel interactions are incredibly helpful. And on the next episode, I guess we are exploring a castle. But that'll do it. Thanks for watching.